Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry about that. For those of you who are just tuning in, we had a little bit of a tech issue, as is unfortunately common sometimes with the wonderful world of Twitch. But that is why you do a sound check at the start and try and figure out, hey, can you hear us out there? Everything's set up now, Twitch, OBS, and everything's working. So, welcome to Seriously Let's Play. This is our community building show where we bring together creators and gamers from all across the sphere of the tabletop world, both new and old. And we basically say, hey, seriously, let's play. And that said, though, we have some new players joining us tonight for Kids on Bikes. And this is going to be our Halloween special. But more on that in a second. Let me go ahead and get some introductions done for our players. So, players, I'm going to go ahead, introduce us to yourself and your character's name as well. And let's go ahead and start with our top left, Panimi.
I'm muted. Sorry. Hi. My name is Panimi, and I'll be playing Daniela. And she is a really cool 11-year-old.
Awesome. All right. Going across next. So, Kyla.
I'm Kyla. I'm playing Audrey tonight. I'm 10 years old, and I just really, really, really want to be like Alex.
Awesome. That said, let's go ahead and go down and Phil.
Hello, I'm Phil. I'll be playing Alex, a 12-year-old. Really loves the outdoors.
Nice. And our last player, but probably one that you're familiar with, Sean.
I'm a regular. Hi, I'm Sean. I'm playing today. He's that kid in school that thinks he's cooler than he really is.
That's most kids.
But yeah,
That's
and it diffuses his most situations with humor or what he thinks is humor.
Well, that said, tonight or today, and whatever time it is that you're watching this, if you are watching the video on demand on our YouTube channel, which is also Rook and Rasp, we are playing Kids on Bikes. Kids on Bikes is a genre when you think about it, as far as films and games go. It is the idea of the child protagonist. Whether you're going to go and look at, classics like Lean on Me, or if you are looking at the Goonies or some of the others. I mean, what are some of the other Kids on Bikes style things? I mean, obviously, Stranger Things is one that everybody knows. Uh, Older kids, BMX Bandits out of Australia. Don't know if you've seen it, but that's Nicole Kidman when she was a little girl. Just saying, you ought to go see her.
That's some old school, John.
Haven't seen that one.
That is some old school.
Positively
But
showing your age.
Ooh, Monster
Oh,
Squad
yeah,
is a good one for
Monster Squad,
Halloween.
definitely.
ooh, Monster Squad, definitely a great one.
never heard of
Uh,
these.
Oh,
it's okay.
man.
There are so much from my generation. And I'm gonna be honest here as we go forward with this game and we pull my players and their characters into this universe that I'm setting up. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that I'm gonna borrow a little bit from one of the oldest sources of a kids on bikes genre kind of thing. I'm thinking that some of my audience might know it, but my players, I am betting that there's gonna be maybe a chance, maybe, that you're familiar with the property that I'm going to be borrowing from. But I'm not going to tell you directly what it is. It's one of those things where I'll reveal at the end because after all, it's a game. And games we sometimes borrow heavily from other media. And I will tell you what it is at the end because this is not necessarily an original story. Original characters, different town. That's the best way I can put it. But that said, let's go ahead and pull y'all into that on the day before Halloween. It's the night before, in fact. And in this sleepy suburb that you live in called Portugal, it's a grid, pretty much. Classic 90s build where the roads are straight. There is no curves. The yards are pretty much identical. The houses are small, one stories. Maybe a couple of them are two stories if the family opted in when they were first building the subdivision. But it's literally laid out like a grid, road by road by road, and everything is somewhat the same. The buildings between the houses and those buildings just following straight down. The driveways are in the back. There's alleys between them, which are thoroughfares for children. Let's be honest. Who doesn't like going down an alley? To your south, there is a farm. This is a smaller town, so the development of the suburb has not taken over everything. But you do live in the largest suburb there is in this town. Nearby is two shopping centers with grocery stores, obviously competing for your parents' money. This is the 90s. Bill Clinton is president. Uh, the movies in the 90s are coming out. D&D 3rd edition has hit the shelves. But it is that night before, and who cares about all of that stuff? It's Halloween. And Halloween is a wonderful time for children, especially in the 90s, because in the 90s, people didn't walk around with their children's after dark. No, those children's got to go run around in the lamplight and away from their parents because, goodness, nothing terrible happens, right? That said, where am I? Let's kick this off with your characters. Where am I going to find you? It's the day before Halloween, and the question is how are you preparing? Obviously, you're going to get together, maybe discuss costumes, maybe discuss what streets you definitely want to travel down and which streets have the best candy. But where are y'all going to be doing this? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to put two possibilities up there, but feel free to improv something else. One is that you are going to have a sleepover somewhere, maybe in a treehouse nearby. Maybe there's a treehouse. You all got your sleeping bags, have a lantern, and are camping out there the night before. But the other one is that y'all have snuck out for the evening. And I want to say it happens. I was a kid that snuck out. I was a boring kid that snuck out because I snuck out to go to a local parking lot to go play football. But it still happens. That said, what do you see your characters doing? Who here wants to take the reins on that question and start building this up?
I've got a quick question.
Yes,
What time of day would this be? Like the evening?
this will be evening. It's after dinner time. Definitely,
After
it's
dinner
starting to
time?
get dark outside.
Is it a weekday or a weekend?
Yeah, that was my next question.
Because it is because of Halloween and the opportunity for everybody to spend the night. I'm gonna say that this is a weekend. So maybe it's a Friday and Saturday is going to be actual Halloween.
That's the best Halloween.
Oh yeah.
I say we do the sleepover.
In the treehouse.
Yeah.
That works for Alex because then Alex is out in nature.
And of course, Audrey's fine with that too.
Okay, so we're gonna say that the tree is old, extends a great deal up into the air, and it is a platform, singular platform treehouse, where big enough for all of your sleeping bags to fit, and there to be a little bit more room. A ladder descends down through a porthole. There are a couple windows, and I'm going to ask another question for you players. What's one item that you would have brought along to the treehouse tonight? What is something that you think you would have contributed?
In my backpack, I've got Star Crunch to snack on for everybody to snack on during the night. And for those not familiar, it's a Little Debbie snack cake that it's basically Rice Krispies, chocolate, and caramel. They're wonderful.
Nice. So you brought snacks.
Yeah.
Alex
Uh,
has oh sorry, go ahead. Alex has like a compass and maybe like a lantern.
Ooh, interesting. So maybe you're not thinking about staying there in the back of that little child mind.
I'm out in the forest. Like I want to explore before
Okay.
bed.
Danielle,
But
sorry.
no, I was about to say, Panimi, you were about to say what your character or something.
Daniela has very Catholic parents, and she had to beg them pretty hard to be allowed to do this. So her backpack is more of a duffel bag. Um, and in it, she has, you know, about a a school's worth of Capri Sun. She has, she has some sandwiches. She has some salt and vinegar chips because those are her favorite. She also has like bubble gum, but not like cool kids bubble tape bubble gum. It's like, be respectful and have a. It's literally winter fresh. Um, and because they're also very Catholic, she has a rosary in there as well, and also she has a change of clothes, a t-shirt, a jacket, clean socks. This is what happens when your Catholic parents are very overprotective. It looks like she's staying over like a 5-day weekend at a hotel, but really it's just overnight. And her sleeping bag is one that she got from like her uncle, and so it's huge. It's for a full size man, and she is not that big. Oh, and a pillow and a blanket and a backup jacket, and also some Tylenol just in case. Um,
Your
oh,
parents
and the
are
first
ready.
and a first aid kit. Once again, it's a duffel bag. Her lower back kind of hurts.
I bet, especially having to lug that up to the treehouse.
No kidding.
Yeah. I'm going with a very, very specific type of parent, and I was just like, this is all what's going to be in it. She's prepared for a war.
Nice.
That's probably installed like a pulley and rope system to like help haul
Nice.
the
Well, let's ask
backpack.
that question. Do you think that your friends, this friends group here, do you think that you built this treehouse, or maybe found the platform and did some improvements on it? What do you think? Do you think your parents, or maybe an older sibling? Let's toss that out there really quick.
Well, I definitely see that we've just adapted this. My dad was a scout, so he probably built it.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay. So that also means it's been around long enough that other people might know about it too.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Once we get up there, we'll just pull the ladder up behind us.
Okay. That said, you've thought about several of the locations that are great for, trick or treating. There's the main road that everybody's going to be on, and it is called Las Palmas. And people tend to travel up and down that road because it is the one closest to the main road. Across the street from there, fire station. But the thing is that it's safe. It's easy to access. All the kids are going to be there. But, there are other roads along that way that are also just as good. Some of them have bigger houses. There is the house at the of a family of as the Crenshaws, and they were one of the first families to move into the subdivision. It is a two-story home. It has not just a sidewalk, that standard gray sidewalk leading up to the door. It has the fancy stones inset into it. So their house stands out a little bit.
Well, yeah, we definitely want to hit up that house. I heard last year they were giving out full size candy bars.
Gold
Oh,
mine.
Yeah. Gotta get there early
always.
though before they run out because they don't stay open all day.
Yeah, I have to get there, hit the Crenshaw's house first, and then we'll just kind of circle back and hit all the other houses on the way out.
Yeah. Or we can like leave a little bit and then try to go back for the second candy bar. Oh, maybe they
Ooh,
won't recognize us.
So what, like an hour from when we first went there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. That said, as you are in the treehouse discussing all your plans, the wind begins to pick up, and the tree itself moves with the wind. What else do you think y'all are doing up there, though? I mean, this isn't too concerning because at the same time, you look out the windows, it's clear night. The moon is not up, but the stars are.
I spent the first 20 minutes when we got up in the treehouse checking for spiders. And found a spot, sat my stuff down, and just constantly looking to make sure there's no spiders crawling out.
You're very thankful that honestly, you're being a little bit overzealous in your mind, but you're like, you never know. Sure, it's cold outside, and most all the insects have either died, gone into hibernation, or found someplace to bunker down. Which you've were concerned that maybe the treehouse was that way, but looking around, it is devoid of pretty much anything else but y'all's belongings. So,
The first thing
You mentioned it
Daniela,
was a.
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
no, please for Danny.
Oh, Danny, so this is her first Halloween. She's a little older for that, but she wasn't allowed. And so she's just really, really excited. So the first thing she does is she starts unpacking her bag and sorting it. And it's just like, okay, so here is my Ziploc bag with toothpaste and a brush. And she's just like, all right.
Oh no, there's no running water.
She's just like, what do we do? What do we do? I want to do something. She's excited. She's like,
Well,
we should do something.
well, I don't think we're going to do anything with the toothbrush, though.
My mom made me take it.
Did she have you bring water, or are you going to brush your teeth with the Capri Sun?
I brought water
Oh,
and Capri Sun.
okay,
Oh,
good.
also, I'm not allowed to have candy or chocolate, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
I was going to say, your parents aren't here. They won't know. About
Well,
that
they
time,
said,
I reach into my bag and I toss you a Star Crunch.
ooh. She's like, are you sure
And
they won't know? They tell me that God always knows, and then that means they always know.
You
oh,
speak to God?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know
think
about that.
I don't
She
think
rips open the package, takes a bite. I actually do IRL off of table love Star Crunch, and
Ooh.
she just bites right into it. Like she takes the whole packaging off. She doesn't keep it half in the packaging, so her fingertips are covered in the melted chocolate as she just inhales it. Because once
uh,
again, she's not allowed to have these type of treats,
I
and
pull
she
some out. Anybody else want one? Toss, toss. Then I'll toss another one to Danielle.
Do you guys want to go
So,
for a? Sorry, go ahead.
no, please.
Do you guys want to go for a moonlit or starlit walk
To where?
just through the woods?
At night?
at night.
Why not?
It's a clear sky.
And you're sure my mom and dad won't find out because if they find out I'm not in this tree house, you know that all the night I'm gonna get grounded until I'm 100 years old.
Well, what you
Pinky
do is
promise,
you
I
take
won't go.
that duffel bag and stuff it in your sleeping bag, and they'll think you're asleep in there.
She pauses, looks down, grins.
Like
She's like, "All
Brian.
right, let's go."
Don't worry, I've got my dad's Scout's manual. If we get in trouble, there's answers in here.
So you all climb down, and of course, being young, it feels like you're much higher up than you are, especially with the feeling of the wind coming through all the trees and the limbs, that sound of the branches creaking. But as you're getting down and you're flat on, your feet are flat on the ground, wind picks up a moment, and in the wind, you hear two things. The first thing that you hear is the sound of a train whistle, like that low in the distance sound of a train whistle. They hear this like, there are train tracks near here, but you've never been awake when a train has come through. You've never seen one come through.
Let's go
At
check
the
out
same time, yeah, and at the same
the.
time, you hear a little bit of music in the air with it, following that sound of that train whistle.
It, there. Are you guys hearing music?
I know I heard a train whistle. Yeah, maybe? Maybe it was just the whistle.
Has there
Can
ever been
we?
a train come through here?
I don't know.
I
I'm
can't
not.
remember one.
I'm not allowed to stay up past 9 p.m.
A lot of times my mom's not even home, and I just put myself to bed.
Eh,
I'm
All my
sorry.
parents care about are my sisters. They don't. They could care less what I'm doing.
Your parents sound way cooler than mine. Can we do? Can we tell? Is it a specific type of song? Is it like Whitney Houston or something? Or
No, it's that breathy tone that you're probably a little bit familiar with of maybe an organ. Like it's those long hollow tones.
yeah,
And it's not that you know it's music because of just seems to have a tempo to it, but it fades in and out. Like it's so far away that maybe it's from a nearby church or something. You're not certain.
maybe someone's having mass. It doesn't seem
Let's not
right.
go that way.
What time do they
It,
have mass?
well,
Isn't-
you know,
Don't they have midnight mass? Isn't that something?
well, that's
is-
for Christmas and Easter.
Oh, not Halloween then.
No, not Halloween. There's no mass for Halloween.
There's
So we
the
should check it
Black
out.
Mass.
Isn't it? Isn't it All Hallows Eve though, or All Saints Day, or something something? Anyways, I think if my reading my compass right, if we go that way, we can probably hit the train tracks to see the train.
Well, how about Alex and Audrey? Why don't you guys lead the way? You're in the woods way more than I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daniela's a little scared as well, excited but a little scared because I'm gonna say it. She's like, I have a cousin up north, and they say that the night before Halloween is Devil's Night. Are we gonna run into a devil? Because I can't do that as a
No,
Catholic.
no, that's okay. My costume I was planning for Halloween is the crow. So if we run into a devil on Devil's Night, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say that we're going to go ahead and for Phil, with your compass, we're going to do our first check of the evening.
Ooh,
As you wander off into the woods, there is a chance that you might get lost. I mean, now the compass is going to help you, but you need to make a roll for me. I'm going to set the difficulty at a 6. Now, the way this works, audience, is that so if you're familiar at all with D&D, you know that it rolls a 20-sided dice and you roll versus a difficulty set based on the opportunity that it might be hard or easy. And the number sets that. Similarly to this, Kids on Bikes sets a number difficulty, but based on whatever statistic that you are using, whatever your character's ability, that is going to decide how big a dice you have. I might call for the test to be a certain thing, certain statistic, but you might not have a big enough dice to be successful with that. That said, I'm going to say that 6, I'm looking for it with your brains.
Ah, I am in luck. My brains is a D20.
Wow, there you go.
I should be pretty
Good.
fortuitous with this, but let us see.
Yep.
A 16.
You know exactly where you're going. Uh, Now, what light sources are y'all bringing along with you?
Um, Maybe I've got my lantern out front.
I have a flashlight.
Do you think Daniela's parents let her leave that house without a flashlight? She has a flashlight and the backup battery, if that's allowed.
Absolutely.
I don't have a
Like
flashlight.
4 of those giant D's.
So, as you all are walking along through the forest, of course, it is fall. Leaves have already begun to change color and litter the floor of this forest. So you hear the sounds of your footsteps brushing through those leaves. Uh, hasn't rained recently, so they are kind of dry, and so there's that crunch to it as well. You do hear, obviously, in the forest nearby, all the life around you, the sounds of crickets and cicadas, the sounds of owls and birds of prey that are out at night, the occasional frog, but nothing much larger than that. But as you're working your way towards the sound of the train whistle, you hear it again walking towards those train tracks, and it is getting louder. The music is becoming much more recognizable. It's a sound of, you know, a organ or calliope. It's that much more festive kind of sound to the instrument. And now the tune is much more recognizable. You begin to exit the forest, though. I mean, there are all the trees, and then all of a sudden it's opening up. And uh, your characters realize that this is maybe where the railroad is. And it begins to go up a incline, a kind of a curved hill, probably a little bit of a berm of soil on which the tracks will rest. Climbing up it, making your way, you now are seeing light off in the distance, coming from, we'll say, coming from the east and heading west on these tracks. Looking around, it's covered in gravel up here on the top of the on top of this hill, but there's a lot of grass coming up through it and also through the railroad tracks themselves, as if they really haven't seen much use.
Is
But
that I was gonna, is that a circus? Did the circus come to town?
Would
I
it,
don't remember
would we
this
have
ever.
seen signs?
I would have thought my sisters would have been excited if there was a circus coming to town.
Whenever we have a circus come through, they always give us flyers at the school. I don't know that. I don't think there's one. I did someone get a flyer?
No,
I didn't see one.
let's go check it out.
you see the light is approaching from the distance, as if it is coming this way. The sound of the wind is getting heavier and heavier, almost masking the sounds of both the train and the calliope ever so often. You feel that the wind itself is almost to a point that it is pushing you.
Like
Pushing
towards.
yeah, there's a
No, as
direction.
it is pushing you along, almost in the same direction that the train is traveling.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's coming from the east and blowing westward along these tracks. Uh, I'm gonna say, let's go ahead and see how everybody does with this, because it is strong enough that it could push you around. Let's go ahead and go with a brawn check, and I'm setting the difficulty again. Let's go with a 5 on brawn.
All right, fires the D12. There we go. So it's a 5, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Got a 5.
I got a 3.
7.
7. All right.
One
If you,
second.
no
So
problem.
sorry. I got a 3.
All right. So for the two of you that rolled lower than the target number, you are still within a area of the loss that it's not going to do anything bad to you. But you essentially feel the wind pushing you, and you start to go down the hill a little bit away from the tracks. The wind is pushing you that hard. Of course, your friends do realize that this is happening as well.
And on failed rolls like that, John, do they get adversity tokens now?
Yes, you do. Both of you will now have an adversity token, which you can use a dice to count them up as you get them, or you can use little uh, cards or just write it down, whichever. And those adversity tokens will give you +1s on future tests.
At least some of my
Perfect.
I don't know what they're called. Traits
Yeah.
use them as well.
Yeah, both of mine do.
Yep. Yeah. If you some of you might have strengths that specifically work with that kind of thing. Uh, so always good to storm up. But that said, the light is also getting closer and closer. Wind is still very strong out here, and the sound of the music is still carrying through the air.
How,
What are y'all doing?
how cold is it? Is it a cold wind?
I'm gonna say, as at this level and the speed, yes, it is definitely a cold wind.
Then Daniela, you know, after, getting her butt beat by some wind, she's pretty cold, and in true 90s fashion, in my head she had a sweater wrapped around her waist, and also she's wearing overalls. So and it's not a hoodie, it's a sweater. So she's putting her sweater over her overalls because that's a look. Um,
Absolutely, it is. All right. What are the rest of y'all doing though with all this? Are you
Look,
going to try and stay up there on the berm? Are y'all going to go down to a little bit, lay down on the side of it,
I'm
maybe
staying up on the burn.
go back into the woods a bit? Your choice. What are y'all going to do?
Like, are the tracks on this berm? I guess that's where I got.
It's right in the center. There is enough room that you could stand up there and the train, stay away enough from the train that it won't hit you. Uh, but question is, what are y'all going to do? Because this will also decide who might see something on the train.
I'm staying up on the burn. Come on, Alex, stay up here with me.
should we
Oh,
put a
all right.
penny on it? I hear kids put pennies on train tracks.
I don't have any
Uh,
bang.
I don't have
I,
any
I heard
pennies.
they can knock the train off the tracks.
I don't want to do
That's why
that.
they told me to do that.
I've also heard that if you do it wrong, it'll shoot off and you could get hit in the head by the penny and it'll kill you.
Why would anyone do that?
Mean people?
It's one of those urban legend things. I don't know.
The teenagers told us to do it, so who knows?
You could
Ah,
always
some older people
test that
use.
theory and put a coin on the tracks and go run into the woods and hide behind a tree. See if it happens.
I don't have any pennies. However, I'm going to balance a star crunch on the track.
That'll work.
But I'm not going to run back to the forest.
Do any of us have pennies?
Well, I would guess, Danny, that your parents left you some pocket change in case you needed it.
Yeah, I have 50 cents, so I could buy a 25-cent bag of chips if I need it. So,
Put a
but it's
quarter on
25
there.
cents. That's so much money.
Yeah, but if the train flattens it, just think how much cooler it'll be to have a giant quarter.
I'm going
I,
to say the wind gusts again, and everybody go ahead and make that brawn check again. This time at 5. Y'all know it's coming.
Ooh,
Oh,
ooh, I
that was a 2.
exploded.
I am stumbling. Trying to keep my feet.
So 6 for Phil and Sean, a 2. All right.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. I'm
Three.
still going. I've exploded 3 times in a row.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Uh, Daniela really wants to put this freaking penny on there. 13, and my brawn is my D4, so I just rolled a 13.
Nice. Nice.
Wow.
I love that about this system in Savage Worlds because you might have a smaller die for that lower stat, but you have a greater chance of it exploding. So in a moment like this, I'm going to say that if you want to, you could run up there
Mm-hmm.
and put a penny on the track. You basically, because you just rolled incredibly well. You actually run up the hill as Sean's character, as David comes down the hill.
What?
Kind of sliding on the gravel a little bit.
Yeah, while Daniela, heard it's, something bad people do. This is like the first time in her life so far she's been allowed to do what she wants to do. And she's like, I want to put this freaking quarter on this train track. I think that's going to be funny. I think that's going to be cool. And my mom can't tell me I can't. And so she puts the coin on the train track and then backs up heading towards the woods because she doesn't want to be decapitated by a quarter.
Alex is trying to
Awesome.
grab David so that he's not too far away from the track since
Okay.
he was peer pressured to stay up there with.
Well,
Daniela, yeah, I want Daniela to yell and be like, I know it might be a bad idea, but you only live once. So let's do it.
all right. So, that said, uh, you get it onto the track and run your way back there. Phil, if you're going to have your character try to save him or keep him from sliding away, I'm going to set the difficulty on that at an 8 for a brawn check. Unless you have something that you think would make more sense, would rather try and use that.
No, I think Braun makes the most sense, and I don't know if our character's relative size, but yeah, I think it should be about that. Oh, I rolled a 1.
All right.
Sliding
reach-
down the hill.
Yeah, you reach to try and stop him, and you're like, I'm going to say it! And you begin to tumble. The wind catches you just the right way that you slide with the gravel as well, and you're halfway down this berm now, both of you.
Oh, that wind is rough.
Yeah.
You're telling me I can't even get up there.
But all four of you are watching, and a train just barrels through the area. But even as it passes where you are, you can hear the sounds of brakes on a train braking, that loud screech. And as if it's probably going to be slowing down, but it's speeding past you. And on one of the sides of one of the train cars going by, you see words written, a large advertisement. It reads Dark's Pandemonium Carnival.
Ooh.
And in writing below that, it says, Ride the carousel of dreams, spin the wheel of fortune.
So when I hear
about the time the train's coming by, I just drew a blank on my character's name.
David,
Brian.
No, it says Brian, but Brian. I think it was David too.
Yeah. Brian's gonna yell out, "My eye! The quarter! It hit my eye!" and just kind of fall to the ground.
That's right.
And then just start waiting to see everybody's reaction, and then just start laughing and be like, "No, I'm fine."
Yeah, I was gonna require a charm test to see if anybody really believes.
Yeah, can I do that? That's cool.
If you really want to see if you trick, not whether you believe, but trick, because I am going to let them.
So we're rolling against
whatever
David
the total is, he rolls. Yeah,
I rolled a 10.
Ooh.
What do we roll? Brains?
I'm going to say, if you're trying to you're using your smarts and looking at them like, oh, I don't know if you're telling the truth. That's going to be brains. If you think you're seeing through the message he's conveying, that it's obviously a lie, I'll say charm. And if you're just trying to play it cool, and you're just like, well, we'll take care of you, grit. So it's one of those situations where the trait itself could change based on how you react.
I'm freaking out and run over to him to do first aid. I fail.
Daniela.
I rolled a d20.
Yeah, I roll a d20 for brains as well, and Daniela is like, she's like Danny. She's just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But then she's like, oh, dude, not cool. She rolled a 15.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I rolled a 2. So I was already gonna say when the brakes hit, Alex takes off for the woods because Alex thinks like they knew about the quarter and now we're in trouble, and so Alex is just like taking off, and then like you're screaming at the quarter, you're like, so Alex is just freaking out and like running away pretty much.
Then I'm just yeah, no, it's all right. I'm just kidding. It really no, I'm fine. Yeah. I'm fine.
You hear him. He's like,
no,
stop! It's a joke. As you're trying to run into the woods.
Daniela picks up some of the gravel and throws it at him. Like, you're such a jerk. You're butthead.
It was a joke.
You're a butthead. That was scary.
No, you didn't really fall for it.
I could have.
Could have been serious.
Yeah.
Well, that said, though, the train is slowing down and the last cart goes by you. The sounds of that chime from a caboose letting everything know that the train has moved on and it's safe to travel across the tracks. But what is your reaction as a group? What are y'all going to do?
The
Once I
carnival.
notice that Alex has retreated, I go that way.
So
The edge of the forest, kind of just looking to make sure the train actually kept going and that we aren't going to get in trouble for putting that quarter.
It was
Alex,
slowing.
come back. They didn't even see us out here. They don't know.
It's slowing down. You know that. It probably a couple yard, a couple 100 yards or so beyond. It might have actually stopped.
Did they see our flashlights?
We probably shouldn't be out here. We should probably get out of here.
Don't you want to see what it is?
Well, it's a
The
train.
wind
It's a
slows down.
carnival.
The
Oh,
wind
we're
slows
gonna have to
down, and you
set up
now
and stuff.
hear the music of a carnival coming from down the tracks a ways.
They might be unloading like cool stuff that we could get to see before we have to pay for it. They could be unloading, who knows,
Ooh.
animals, or we could see what kind of rides that they're getting taking off. That way we know what kind of fun we're gonna have.
Maybe they'll give us free tickets.
Yeah, we could help them out, yeah, and get free tickets.
I say we go.
All right.
I think we go. I think we go. This sounds fun.
Are you and Audrey?
I mean, what's the worst
Yeah,
that could
of course.
happen?
Well, the worst
You-
that could happen is they call our parents, and then we're in trouble. And then we can't go trick or treating tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sure we'll get
Nah.
plenty of candy here.
Yeah,
Do you think
It's a
they have
carnival.
candy?
it's a carnival.
What kind of candy?
They're gonna have cotton candy, candied apples, popcorn, caramel corn. They're gonna have.
At
Well,
this
I guess they
moment,
won't have funnel cakes yet because you can't cook the funnel cakes without having everything set up.
Daniela at this moment like kind of looks kind of like coy and this just goes, well, okay, fine, guys. I admit I've never been to a carnival. I don't know what to expect.
Well, I've never been to
No,
one.
we have to go.
Yeah.
Let's
Not
go.
only
Let's
that,
go.
not only are you getting to go to a carnival, but you're getting to go to one at night.
When usually only the adults get to go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I need to go. I need to go. I
Are
just have to also
y'all-
make sure my mom doesn't find out.
Are you going to go ahead and climb your way up to the berm and go down the tracks towards the carnival that way? How exactly are y'all going to try and get there?
We'll
let's
make our way
go.
through the edge of the woods.
Hmm?
Make our way through the edge of the woods.
Yeah.
It'd probably
that
be
might-
easier walking along the tracks.
Yeah. The wind's calmed down by this point, right? You said?
I mean, we're
Yes,
not
the
trying
wind's
to.
Almost
ahead.
entirely calm. It's gone back to where it was when the tree was first swaying.
Daniela just starts walking up the berm to the tracks.
Yeah, because we're not trying to sneak up on them. It's not like we're going to spy on them.
Can she feel if the train has fully stopped, like if the tracks are still vibrating?
If you reach down, the tracks are cool to the touch, and you feel no vibration. Looking around, you also do not see your quarter.
Have killed someone. Is what
Just
she's.
lodged in a tree or something.
She just says that to herself. She doesn't tell anyone else. She now she feels very bad. But yeah, she's just like, guys, the wind isn't that bad anymore. We could just walk on here. The train stopped, and we trains make noise when they're coming through. We can hear if one's coming. This is way easier.
Come on, Audrey, we'll be okay.
I believe you can make it up that hill.
And with the wind gone, it is much easier. And you make your way along the train tracks for a good distance, but of course, hard to judge distance at night, really. You use your flashlights a bit, you're looking around at the trees. It's still a clear and easy night. And there is a crest where as you're going along, the berm that the tracks are on starts to dip down, and it looks like maybe there is a river basin area, and you see that the train has stopped down there, probably good 50 to 100 yards still away. But you see in this light illuminated fog that a carnival has set up. There is a big top tent. There are several different, what appear to be just smaller tents. And then there are, of course, those little stations where games of chance are set up. You can just, make them out. Uh, but yeah, it's a carnival. You see people moving around, and you hear the sound of work, uh, stakes being driven into the ground, and things like that. It's about all you see. So, what are y'all going to do? How are y'all going to react with this?
They're moving.
Like,
Did they set up those tents just in the time it took us to walk down this way?
Well, I mean, we've been
wow.
walking a while.
But that's still very fast.
Oh, I think that's
Yeah,
normal for carnivals. They're
they're probably
used to
doing this
doing
all
this.
the time. Yeah.
Oh. Well, okay.
It doesn't take that long to set up a tent.
But that's a big tent.
You know
They
what
got a
you're
lot of
doing.
people. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I trust you guys. Sorta. You know more than me. Sorta.
Yeah, we know more.
Well, do we wanna see what's going on? Do we wanna just
Should we
just walk
sneak
in?
around?
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
better than like asking to help or whatever. They'll probably just tell us no.
We can at least see what's going on first. See if
Yeah,
anyone does need help.
yeah. They got games too. I mean, maybe we could check that out.
Sneaking in this situation, I'm going to say, is going to be a grit check. And I am going to set the difficulty for that grit check uh, to draw no attention. And because it is dark and people are working and maybe not paying attention to you, I'm going to set it just at a 5.
Just a 5, and I gotta roll a d6 for grit.
Oh wow, that's bad.
Racking up those adversity tokens.
I actually succeeded this time with a 6,
And Nate.
but I was rolling a 12.
Nice.
A
I got a-
1? Oh
A
man.
1.
I
I
got
mean,
a
like I've
six.
got one adversity
Oh, what?
token I
You
can
got a
help you out
6?
with, but
And
No, we'll save them.
so, Panini, that was a 6, you said?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So you're sneaking and looking around, trying to stay unseen.
He's like,
I will say that at one point, Brian, as you are there looking around and watching everything happening, 2 workers come out of a tent not 5 feet from you. They should have been able to see you. They're carrying a large, long box, about 6 feet long between the 2 of them. 2 of them are carrying it at the head, 2 of them are carrying it at the feet. It's about 2 foot wide and 2 foot tall. And they don't even look around. They just keep walking.
yeah, I just kind of freeze.
And you
Yeah.
all see this. You're all hidden. Everyone else, you're hidden extremely well. Some of y'all are behind, kind of using the shadows, maybe behind boxes that people have left behind, maybe ducking behind a large coil of rope. But yeah, they literally just ignore him.
I stop and I look back for everybody. I'm like, guys, we're here.
Danielle
Oh.
goes, shh, shh.
Yeah, run over there. They didn't see me.
you got lucky.
That was luck.
They didn't see me.
They're
were-
working. It's dark and they're probably tired.
Yeah,
It's like-
you carried a
Let's
big
get too
box.
focused on work.
you hear a voice in the dark. My, what do we have here? And it is a voice between the tracks and you, so it's walked up from behind.
Daniela screams.
Yeah, spin around.
Standing behind you is a very tall man. Think about 6'5" in our adult minds, but to a child,
9
giant.
feet tall.
He
Wow.
is his sleeves are rolled back as if he has been doing work. It is a white shirt with black overalls, black pants that are pinstriped on them. His shoes are very nice leather shoes that kind of just are of a style that is very old. You've seen these maybe on your grandparents.
Wait, you said overalls and pants?
Well, he's wearing
Suspenders?
suspenders. I am so
Got it.
sorry, suspenders, and he's wearing black pinstripe, pants,
Got it.
and he has a vest on over this white shirt. But what draws your attention, besides all of that, is that his arms are covered in tattoos, and he is rolling down the sleeves, and you see various this pictures of people, faces, and yeah, he is rolling down the sleeves over all of that and stops. So, welcome. Were you nearby or something?
Yeah, we were camping in the woods and we saw the train come by and we just wanted to see the carnival and maybe see if you needed any help. Maybe for some tickets.
You are looking for tickets.
Well, I mean, we're willing to help out to earn some tickets, right, guys?
Yeah.
Brave young lad.
Daniela's frozen
Yeah.
to the spot. She's not moving. She is just hiding, like behind someone.
His eyes fall on you briefly. Tickets always come for something, right?
Right. I mean,
And
we're not asking for free tickets. We're willing to do some work around here tonight to get tickets.
who said they need to be free? And with a flourish in the air, he holds out his hands, and you see there's nothing. But as he flourishes, he presents two things to you. In one hand, he holds out a quarter, and in the other hand, he holds out 4 tickets.
Oh.
What would
Uh,
you like
Is
to
that the same?
choose?
Is that the same quarter?
Your quarter?
I didn't want to say anything, but it wasn't there when I went up. I assumed it ran into a tree, but I feel like we would have heard it if it ran into a tree or it killed someone. Is that my quarter?
Why don't you tell me? And he flicks it over to you. You catch it?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's the same quarter.
oh.
Is that your quarter?
This is my quarter.
No.
No way.
This is my quarter. I memorized the number. I memorized the number.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am GM Doc, and this is Doc's Pandemonium Carnival. I started off as a tattooed man, if you can imagine. You'll find many unusual people here. Hmm, unusual might not be the best term, after all. What is a tattoo in this day and age?
Uh,
But for that quarter, these tickets will allow you entry to tomorrow night. Tonight, I'll
uh,
let you go choose one place for free.
Have you been to prison? Daniela just says. I have a Theo. My Theo has he's been to prison and he has the tattoos. Are you a prisoner?
No, no. These tattoos are for other things. After all, they're for things that you might find here within my carnival, such as, and he rolls down a sleeve on one side, and you see a woman standing, covered in a veil. I have a soothsayer, a truth seeker, someone who can tell you your future and tell you what can happen, tell you what awaits you. And he rolls the sleeve up, and he turns his wrist around. I also have a fun house.
Let's do the fun house.
Oh my god.
Give
It's a
him the
fun house. It
quarter.
has fun in the name.
Let's give him the quarter so we can get the tickets.
Daniela's just her hands are shaking and she's just looking at it. All her previous bravado swiped from her. But she's like, "Are you guys sure?"
No, it'll be fine. This is like an opportunity of a lifetime. Not only are we going to get 4 tickets for a quarter, but we're going to get to see something tonight too.
Is Are tickets usually more than a quarter?
They will be tomorrow. This is
See,
a
I
price.
usually have to save my allowance for 2 weeks.
There
You get
is something to
What's
be
an
said
allowance?
for Providence. Providence is a force that has guided you here.
Daniela has no idea what the word Providence means, but she
it
just
means like
holds out the
fate.
quarter.
So you what? For Panimi, what is your character doing?
She walks up a little bit. She's just been hiding behind that, I don't know, Alex, and like reaches her hand out because she looks at all her friends and they're so excited and she's so scared because all she knows is tattoos equal jail and her Theo went to jail and he wasn't or is not a good man, but she hands him the quarter. She's like, "We would like to go to the carnival, please."
And he reaches out, picks up the quarter, and I'm gonna say Panini, that for your character, I want
Mm-hmm.
you to give me a grit check.
Grit check. That was D10.
Just tell me what you roll.
4.
All right, is that the maximum on your grit, or
No, I have a D10 on my grit. I rolled a
okay?
4.
I'm like the
You
gritless person.
you stay planted there, but you swear that for a moment, that as his hand retreats, it's as if you hear the sound of scales, like the sound of snake scales rubbing up against something, as his arm moves backwards and away from you.
He reaches up to like her right ear and just kind of like, do that thing where it's like, maybe I just heard something. Like, it's like, oh, does it itch? And shakes her head and just steps back, moving backwards, keeping her eye on Jim Doc.
Very good. Well, I have work to do. And he reaches from behind and pulls out a top hat. He shakes the top hat, and a long coat with tails on it falls from inside the hat. But it stays tethered to it. Takes the coat, throws it over his arm, places the top hat on his head, and says, "Mr. Cougar." And from around one of the tents, a man approaches, probably about 5 feet tall, much shorter than him, but red hair. And he has those thick, bushy, kind of lamb chop, kind of beard. It's like, "Mr. Cougar, our friends here wish to see the funhouse. Would you please take them?" And he doesn't even say a word, but he walks up. He's got kind of that angry, always angry look on his face. Just nods, motions, turns around, and starts walking. "Mr. Cougar will show you the way. Do not
Thank you.
worry. You are safe here for the night. We will see you tomorrow night as well. Please seek me out." And he puts on the coat and begins to walk away into the darkness.
Did you guys see that? That was like David Copperfield. He
There,
just made that jacket come out of nowhere.
Mister, the tickets.
Oh,
Say we were gonna have the tickets.
he turns around, presents the tickets in one hand, and now in the other hand, good lad, holds out a poster for the carnival to you.
Thanks. I'll take it. Yeah. Or Alex take it.
And again turns around and walks off. After about 5-10 feet, you're not even certain he was there.
Yep, David
Check out my
Copperfield.
poster.
Ick.
That's cool.
Like, there's the
Oh,
fun
wow.
house. There's the soothsayer.
You hear,
Oh, hi.
Sorry, Mr. Cougar.
You
Hey
okay?
guys,
You look a little upset.
guys, we should we be stranger danger? We
Stick
shouldn't
together. Stay
trust.
close. Stay close.
Yeah, just
he
stick
leans
together.
in. What's my name?
Mr.
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 Cougar.
Cougar.
Cougar, Mr. Cougar.
We're not strangers. And he turns around and starts walking.
Wow, IRL, I hated that. uh, fuck.
A
I do
stranger is just a friend you've never met before.
I do creepy a little well sometimes. So
That
if we do need to
works.
take a
That
break, is everybody good? Just
Yeah,
help
no.
check across the board. Everybody doing good?
yeah.
Okay.
Um. Yeah. No. Daniela is like, okay then. Maybe I'm being overreacted. She has a sense of just like, you know what? Maybe they seem okay. So that means I'm not. I'm the one who's weird, being weird right now. This is fine. This is fine. This is how American kids do things. This is fine.
It's gonna be so much fun. Have you ever been in a fun house before?
I've never been to a carnival.
They've got, if this is like the one I've been in before, there's gonna be mirrors inside of it, and you're gonna have like walkways that bounce as you're trying to go across it. And like the one time I went in there was an entryway, and Brian, when he's like a little out of his element, will just keep talking and talking and talking. And I'm just gonna keep this like litany of funhouse facts as we're going towards the funhouse until someone tells me to shut up.
Daniela is Danny is actually soothed by the rambling. It for her, she recognizes the nervousness in it, and she's like, okay, I'm not fully weird. This is weird, but
He
soothed.
keeps trying to add something to the funhouse, but you keep mentioning it first.
The first thing that as you're entering now the carnival proper and seeing it up close and personal, the first thing that reaches you is the smell. It's that smell of popcorn,
Oh,
kettle
okay.
cooked. It's the smell of candied apples.
Ooh.
It's that smell of all the sweets and sugars of cotton candy that just lingers in the air around those machines.
Even better than the movie theater.
Yeah.
And they're illuminated by a yellow light. And so there's this all throughout this carnival are basically they're lampposts that have been just erected that you can look at the ground and see that they're on top of a piece of plywood that's probably been moved there and set with those lampposts. But there's this pale orange glow. And at the same time, all the tents, everything here, the fabric is either old canvas, like that gray old canvas, to the big top itself, which is black. And it just you would almost not be able to make it out, except at this point for except for the lights and the fact that at the top where that crest of that big top tent is, you can see where it ends and the stars begin.
I thought Big Tens were supposed to be red and white striped.
They're at least a lot more colorful usually.
Mr. Kruger stops and looks. We are an October festival. We celebrate this time of year. And in this time of year, people like to be scared a little.
Oh, it's a
I don't.
scary carnival. It's like a haunted carnival, like a haunted house. Not allowed to go to those either.
Then you're in luck. And it's the first time you see that smile, which doesn't look right on his face because he's always got that scowl. But it lifts up on one side of his face. That it's almost like he's forcing himself to smile. And there is a structure ahead of him. It looks like it was one of the train cars. And out front of it is a wooden platform with wooden stairs going up it. And he pushes a button on the side of it, and you begin to hear music playing. And this carries in the wind this old kind of tune. When the music stops, it is ready.
What's ready?
And the door opens. And into this space that was one of the train cars, you see a long hallway that is circular. And you hear the sounds of motors running. And the hallway is spinning. Please go on in.
See, I told you guys the spinning hallway, like just like the one I've been in before. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, you're the expert, Brian. You first.
Yeah.
No. My mom always told me
Daniela's
that
pushing, pushing.
the girls should go first in things like this.
Nope, nope.
Nope,
You're
nope.
going.
Oh,
You're the professional. You know the
Show,
most.
show us the way, Brian.
oh, fine. Don't be scared. And I just charge up the stairs.
Depending on how you describe that you want to handle the things occurring within the funhouse, I will allow for this brawn, fight, or grit. If you're just trying to muscle your way through the tunnel, that's going to be brawn.
Right.
Grit is just trying to keep your feeding as you're walking along.
Right.
And then I'm going to say for fight, it's like you're trying to get across as quickly as possible. It is the equivalent of a physical fight challenge.
So you said fight or flight?
Fight.
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 Ugh.
Yes. I will allow, depending on how you see your character doing that, it's going to be one of those three. And the challenge level on this is a 4.
I will do. You said brawn was one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do brawn. I'm just gonna like stomp my way across, just like focused, intense, and just bulldozing my way through as best I can. And that's a 7.
Nice. You watch him basically, as he described it, bulldoze his way across. This path is rotating. It is that cylinder, probably about 8 feet in width. So it's tall enough that a person can walk upright while walking down it, a normal adult. But he just goes through it, just keeping his strength and speed up, and this, with all his brawn, makes it. Who wants to go next?
Well, before they get, it's like, look, just do what I did. Just keep your legs wide, and you're not gonna fall down.
I just stubborn my way through next. Grit.
Grit. All right.
And that is a 6.
All right. More than exceeds it. And yeah, you just keep upright and almost walk. Where you seem to be fighting, she's just walking down that hallway. Yeah, maybe she's
So-
been to one of these before.
Good job. I can't believe you did that. Like you've done this 100 times.
So I don't want to be left with Mr. Cougar, so I'm going to try to, go next.
Just like balancing on a log.
Yeah, I don't do that very often.
I'm going to try to go through it as fast as possible, so I'm going to do fight, which is actually my worst die, but I think it's what matches my character.
Hey, go for it.
Oh, 3.
3. And you get that sense, all of you, that maybe even he looked over his shoulder briefly and saw Mr. Cougar, and he's like, and he tries to fight his way across. Now, in this game, just because you failed doesn't mean that it is a failure. It means that the way in which you wanted to do it, it has not happened. And so what I'm going to describe this as is that you try to fight your way across it and trip. And you end up having to crawl your way across it, kind of rolling a couple times, but you make it. You make it. But that said, so for Dani, how do you think she's going to go?
Donnie, in my head, she's right now so hesitant, but also she doesn't want to stay with Mr. Cougar, and so she uses fight. She just wants to get past this and get to her friends as quickly as possible. So let me roll d12, and that's a 9.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. With that feeling. Yeah, you didn't want to be left behind.
She's in fight or flight right now.
Yeah, you kind of rush in. You've got that look on your face of, okay, it's time to do this. I am away from home. I am doing something I've never done before. This is my first time. This is my moment. And with triumph, that you stay upright and you make your way through. You a couple times maybe you push off the wall with your arm, like it starts to pull you up on one side as it's rolling, and you just push and push yourself back into the center and make your way across.
That wasn't
And
very fun.
Mr. Cougar's like, now the fun part. Oh, it's just getting started. And he closes the door. And sounds of outside are gone. And
Okay.
after a few moments, music and sounds began to start up in the funhouse.
Did he lock the door?
He just shut it. Yeah, I think.
That doesn't seem very safe.
Well, we just gotta go forward, right?
Yeah.
Guys, we made a mistake. I can feel it. We made a mistake. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
Do
There's
you want
always
to?
a way out. We just gotta make our way through.
Do we? You want to? Do you want to go check the door and see if we can get out rather than going through?
Where's the
I don't
fun in
want to go
that?
back to that tunnel.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be very fun if Danielle is like totally terrified.
We got
Do you want to hold hands? We can all
flashlight.
hold hands.
Yeah.
I would like to hold hands, please.
All right. Well, human chain.
Yes. Huge.
Human chain.
So the first room you come to is a rope bridge. It is illuminated with what looks like Christmas lights on the outside edge of it. It is about a 10-foot by 10-foot room. And 3 ropes help you get across it. 2 ropes for your hands, which for some of you, if you're a little bit short, you might be grabbing this way, and a singular rope in the center that you stand on. But the Christmas lights outline the 10-foot area of this room. There is what appears to be no floor below it. And you see rings and rings of Christmas lights that on the outside edge of that wall, going further and further down into darkness.
Whoa.
That nothing to be worried about. That's just an illusion. There's nothing. The worst what's gonna happen is you're gonna fall off the rope and you're gonna land like 2 feet down in some foam.
It looks like the stars. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's it. It's just an optical illusion.
With that said, I'm gonna ask that let's say Audrey, give me a brains check on that because this room, the walls are black and painted, so it does have the appearance of darkness. But the ceiling above has little pinpricks of light.
How's a 31.
Wow. Okay. Uh, it looks like it might be open up above. Like you're looking at the stars and you're recognizing actual constellations. So this isn't just like somebody has one of those, shiny globes or use little dots of glow in the dark paint to make the night sky. It looks like it's actually the night sky above.
It really does. Look, that's the Big Dipper.
That's amazing.
Really put a lot of detail into this.
I guess someone went to astronomy school.
And then they end up working in a carnival?
So
Work here?
let's say grit or flight would work in this case.
Flight.
Light?
So, and I'm setting the difficulty at a 4.
You said fight.
Flight. So it's either going to be grit as you're trying to make your way across, or flight.
Oh my goodness, I'm so dumb. I misread flight as fight. And so I
Oh,
rolled the wrong thing earlier on my fight check. I'm so sorry.
no, that's
I think
fine.
Is this to
um
cross this rope bridge, or is this
Mhm.
okay?
Yes,
I got a 7.
Well,
7 to 10.
Stumbling
fight
my way through again.
fight didn't work last time, so now Alex is gonna try to just grit through it. I got a 5.
um
All right. And then for Panimi, for your character, for Donnie.
um she wants this over quickly, so she's gonna I think she would grit her way through it because, human chain.
Yeah. Deals a little bit with the emotion of the situation because it's overcoming whatever it is, whether it's a physical or an emotional or mental obstacle.
What
Yeah.
was the difficulty again?
4.
Okay.
18.
All right. You make your way across, and after you all get on the other side, the lights turn on in the room behind you, and the floor is actually glass. It as in about maybe 3-4 inches below the rope that you just went across was glass, and it was an optical illusion that was about 3 feet with the row of Christmas lights on the inside of it, and that's all there was. Even if it was possible to go through the glass, you would have fallen only 3 feet.
But not a soft little foam landing. It would have been a smacking into the glass land.
Well, the glass was literally 6 inches below, so you would
Oh,
have
okay.
fallen,
Okay.
but yeah, not far enough really to hurt yourself. But then the lights turn off in that room after you've left it, and lights turn on up ahead. And you see a maze of mirrors.
It's like you said, Brian.
Yeah, the maze of mirrors. You got to be careful though, because my little sister went running down one of these and just full on smacked. I mean, she left a face print against the window when she hit it.
Oh, we shouldn't run.
No, don't run.
Okay.
Okay. Not a bad idea. And in this situation, we're going to say that you can either use brains to try and figure out the maze, or grit just to outlast what it's,
Jeez.
the emotional situation that's happening with you in this case. And let's go ahead, and I want to start off Akila. Or actually, let me ask this. Who would be leading the group? Do you think you would try and stay together?
Oh,
I
we've
mean,
already
because
been
the
doing
maze,
the hand holding.
yeah, the
We don't
maze
want
is
Danny running off.
mainly, yeah. Oh, sweet kitty. The maze
Donnie,
is, huh?
I was gonna say Donnie would likely be coming up the rear. She's the least familiar with it, and
Okay.
she will not be by herself. She is going to be basically a barnacle on a whale attached to someone.
All right.
I think probably still human chain, right?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
This is going to be a little bit of an extended task, so there's going to be a couple different tests. But since you're all moving as a group, I want you all, I want the person leading to roll. So who was it that we said was leading the group through the maze?
Well, Alex, you are really good with the compass. You probably can get us through this fast.
Okay. I'll go first this time. Brian's been going first.
Yeah, yeah. You go first. So you want to hold your hands out. So I'm going to hold on to the back of your belt,
Okay.
and then your
And I'm
hand
holding
backward.
on to, and I'm holding on to Alex and Annie.
All right. So
Sorry,
making the
not Alex,
test,
Brian.
Um,
and I'm going to set the difficulty at a 6.
think that this is gonna be grit mode. Like I'm not trying to outsmart the mirror maze. I'm just gonna, walk forward with my hands, and I run into something, then I'll just turn or whatever. So it's grit. Oh, I got a 4, but I do have an adversity token. You said it was a 5?
That would turn it into a 5. If you rolled a 4 and add a grit or add an adversity token, that moves it up 1 step per adversity token.
Yeah, and
So
I can't remember what the difficulty was. Sorry,
that was 6.
6. I'm not going to use any. I want to see how this failure changes the story, or this
Okay.
fail changes the story.
So you're moving down a hallway, and you're pretty sure. I mean, you're just gritting your way through it, and at one moment you stop, and it's not a mirror; it's a piece of glass that is right in front of your group. Like it was a illusion to some extent to get you to go down this one hallway, and it dead ends. Not in a mirror that would have told you immediately this is not the right way to go, but it's a piece of glass. So you stop. And now you're going to have to turn around and go make your way back.
Oh, we got a reverse course. This is a dead end.
All right. Go ahead and give me another check.
Still great at this point. Not changing plans quite yet. Oh, that's a 1. My D12s have turned against me.
All right.
This is not a lucky kitty, apparently.
You find yourself back at the entrance that you came in.
Maybe somebody
How
else
are
should.
the rest of y'all feeling at this point? Because he's basically led you back to where you started.
It's dumb. Why is this maze so dumb?
It,
You want someone else to try and lead, Alex?
should we
Yeah. Somebody else should try now.
should we
I
just
can't figure
feel
this
our
out.
way through?
Yeah, that's might be the best bet. I hope there's a way through.
What
There's
were
got to be a
the
way through.
what were the other options besides grit to try to make our way through?
Brains.
Grit or brains. You can actually try brains to make your way through that way.
Can Daniela just once again,
I'm sorry.
Danny, she's absolutely fed up. She thinks it's a bad idea, so she wants to. She's like, I'll try. Maybe I'm less easy to get confused. Stares at Alex. That's an 8.
All right. You find your way through the maze, and you're making it through. You actually see the piece of glass that stopped you the first time. You actually pass that on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're walking down, you look down a hallway. And for the briefest moment, you're looking down a hallway, and there's a mirror at the end. And it looks like someone else is passing, walking, parallel to you in the next hallway over. But this is also before anyone else would see it. And looking at this figure, you see what you thought was a younger version of yourself in your first communion dress.
And no one else sees this?
No one else sees this.
How long do I see it for? Is it just like a split second?
Just for a split second. But you're pretty sure that's what it was.
She's just rooted to the spot and then looks around. It looks over her shoulder to look at everyone coming up behind her. And is like, do you guys see something in this mirror? This mirror here. Can you see something?
Yeah, I see myself.
Yeah, same.
See all of us, yeah.
Just a reflection.
I saw not me. I saw me. Well, no, I saw me. But me wearing different clothes, me not what I'm wearing now. You guys don't see anything?
No, just us.
I know it's scary.
I saw it. I'm not making it up.
We're seeing lots of images of ourselves. You probably just saw it, just saw it weird. Just,
You think? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
These things are
It,
designed to trick your eye.
yeah, there's strange lights and the mirrors, and
Some of them
we're
have
supposed to.
mirrors that make you look really tall.
this wasn't that.
Did it make it look really short? Those happen too.
I was shorter, but I wasn't where I was in communion. I you know what? I'm just a little freaked out. I'm sure I'm seeing things. She doesn't believe that she's seeing things, but she just walks to the back of the pack now. She's
But
uncomfortable leading.
you got us so far. You
But
I
no,
think it's fair for us to take turns.
I
And
I just need a break. And she pulls out a Capri Sun.
Why
She just
not?
you guys want one?
Yeah.
yeah.
She
okay.
hands she hands out Capri Suns, and above table I would like to say I have to step away to use the restroom.
Oh, no
Yeah.
problem. If y'all would like, we can actually go ahead and take a break here a moment. We have been at this for in game for an hour and a half. So that said, we can come back and start back up again in about 10, if that's all right with everybody.
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sorry if I forced it or anything.
No,
No,
no.
no, this is exactly where we take it anyway. So we will be back in 10 minutes. We'll see y'all soon.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right, everyone. Hello and welcome out there in Twitch land. My name is John, and I'm your GM for today with the game Kids on Bikes for Halloween. We have our wonderful group of players here, and they are deep within a fun house, as it were, for what fun they're actually having.
It's not very fun.
So,
Donnie's
that
confused. She's
said,
like, "What does fun mean? Something different?"
Maybe it's fun for someone, maybe just not for our characters.
but where you find yourselves right now is in the maze of mirrors.
Taking a juice break.
Now, you end up at a platform, though, in this maze, and it is filled with those mirrors that you heard described. And you see the mirror that makes you look bigger, makes you look taller, shorter, wider, whatever. You see all these various mirrors that are here on this platform. And at the very end of this hall is what looks like a hole, maybe about 3 foot wide and about 3 foot in length, maybe a little bit more, because I'm probably doing very bad with my proportions, but it's a slide, like a tube slide leading away from this room. But who else? This is probably one of the more fun moments. Uh, who is going to look at themselves in the mirrors here in this room?
Donnie, after seeing what she saw, um, is like just rooted to the spot. She says a quick little prayer to herself, and she's scared to go through the mirrors.
Okay. Uh, that said, in this moment that is before your characters, and you're all looking at these different mirrors. Uh, I want to ask Brian a question for his character.
Okay.
You're going to be walking up to a mirror that makes you look taller.
All
It would
right.
make
Yeah.
it would make you look more adult height.
Okay.
If you could imagine your character, if he could imagine what he would look like perfected as an adult, what his mind, what he sees himself as, what would it be? What would be that one thing that he could dream he may
He's
one day look like?
he's like 6'3". He doesn't look scrawny. He's wearing, you not wearing, but you can tell that he's confident and self assured about himself. That, like, if there's a challenge in front of him, it is not a problem. He's just super confident looking.
When you first walk up to the mirror, that's what you see, looking down at you. But you blink, and in that moment that you blink, it's like, no, it's just the taller version of you that a mirror would normally do. How would your character react to that?
I would look back at Danny and be like wondering if she was right about seeing like a different version of herself. And
Does Danny catch him looking back?
I would say yes. I mean, it's just the four of you in here, other than the
Mhm.
mirrors. And if you're not looking at any of the mirrors,
She
so
catches the shared look.
I think I saw something.
I know.
But it wasn't bad. It's like what I hope I would look like. It showed me as an adult, like super confident. I mean, that's great, but these mirrors are just supposed to stretch you out or squish you down.
Danny walks up to the mirror that he's at. Does she get an illusion or does she just get a normal mirror?
you see the mirrors. You see you and him standing next to each other, the same height. Uh, that being a height of an adult,
Hmm.
like your body stretched out
Like
length.
stretched out, not like actually like an
No.
adult.
See, it's just I think it's just like what you were talking about back there. You're just seeing the mirror.
Yeah, but I know I saw something weird, and
I
you know you saw something weird.
I totally believe you, Don. I'm sorry we didn't believe. I sorry I didn't believe you before. This is weird. This is not right. This is. I think I want to get out of here now.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the cat reaching over your shoulder in the corner. It just doesn't know what's going on. Anyway, all that remains left is the hole, the slide.
Can we
Probably
see
faster to
down
go
it?
forward than to go back at this point. You guys probably just had too much sugar.
Who hasn't gone first yet?
I'll go.
How confident?
A slide.
Into lava. No.
Can we see? Can we see down into it? Can we see how like long the slide is or anything like that?
It's a slide. It is chrome. It is a perfect circle.
So it's a cylindrical tube slide that's
Yes.
so we cannot see how long this thing is or how far it goes.
If we put a
No.
flashlight down it, does it like get stopped? Does it, like looks like it turns or anything?
It does look like it turns. It looks like it moves, possibly spiraling like a corkscrew.
Or do we all want to
These are
hold
the most
hands?
fun slides.
I'm not sure we can hold hands going down the slide.
We could
And do
do
we?
the bobsled.
Yeah, we could do the bobsled.
We could bobsled it.
Smallest to biggest? 'Cause I'm the smallest.
Yeah. Well, that means I think Donnie goes after. Dang it! All right. I think Donnie says I think we should bobsled. I don't I don't want us to get separated. I don't think I think something's really wrong here. And then she kind of looks from thanks sound effect. Great timing because I was about to say she looks behind her and tries to see if they're being followed. Music says yes.
You don't see any reason to believe that they're being followed, but that was the sound of thunder outside of the funhouse.
Was it supposed to rain?
It was it was a clear sky, right?
Yeah, it was
Was
clear
It
when we
was
left.
earlier.
You just remember the wind, but otherwise you can see the stars outside.
Well, doesn't the wind come before the storm? The wind blows the storm in. So maybe
but we
the
can
storm was
but you're
coming.
saying we can look can we look up I know in the previous room we could in this room can we look up and see the sky?
It's enclosed here. There is a roof over the top here.
At least if there's rain, we're staying dry.
Yeah, but if the storm gets too bad, what's the likelihood our parents are going to come?
They're gonna find
Then we
we're
need
not
to get
gonna be
back to the
there.
treehouse. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to keep going.
Okay. You then begin. Who's going down the slide first?
Then we're kind of bobsledding, grabbing each other's belts. I think.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right.
We're
You
super cool like
begin.
that.
Yeah. You all slide in the slide, getting positioned, bobsledding. You have to lean back a little bit so that you can, it feels like you need to just clear a little bit. But you make your way into the tube and you begin to spiral within the corkscrew turn. And you begin to see your reflections as you're going through this tunnel, making these turns. And you're like, weren't we just a little ways off the ground? Why are we spinning so much? How far down does this slide go? And you begin to hear other sounds and singing. And as you're going around this, there's this, at points, all of you now, you look and you're like, seeing the reflection of yourself, but ever so often it's not a reflection of yourself. It's a reflection of a man covered in canvas. Like, think instead a body bag.
I'm screaming.
and you
Scarecrow?
all exit out of the slide and land in the grass back outside.
I'm
The you look back and you're now outside the funhouse. You're still at the carnival. But you're now outside the funhouse. What are y'all going to do?
booking it for the
Run.
forest.
They said we
You
can only do one thing.
Is it, and it's not thunderstorming. The skies are still clear.
No, the skies are clear out here. It looks like the thunder was just maybe a sound effect in there.
Did you guys see that on the slide? Did you guys see that? The thing?
Uh,
The guy?
No, I don't want
Just
to
a
talk about. I
picture?
don't want to talk about the guy.
I don't hear. Are you saying that as you're running? Because otherwise, like, I don't hear it.
I
Alex is a
think we
bad
should.
friend.
I think we should follow Alex.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it
And
when we get back to the treehouse.
Daniela gets up. And she starts running too. It took her a moment. She was shocked into a catatonic state.
Is
You
Audrey
run.
already running, or because I'm not
Everybody
going to
just
leave?
see what Alex does.
Do what?
Mhm. I hope Alex leads us the right way because she's just following Alex.
I'm waiting until make sure everybody's running before I start running.
Alex should say what Alex was doing.
Oh, Alex, I'm running for the
Oh,
report.
okay.
Sorry,
Then we're all running behind Alex.
Okay.
I didn't listen to what anybody said. I saw Canvas Man and I was done.
Okay. So the conversation was between Brian and Danny, and it's like, no, let's talk about this when we get somewhere. This treehouse. We'll talk about the treehouse and just let's run.
Yeah, booking it. Her Skechers sneakers are lighting up.
You hear in the distance as you run from the carnival. You're just all beating feet at this point, trying to get back to that treehouse. And you feel the wind, and it's like the wind is behind you, like it's pushing you from the carnival. But, and before it was traveling, west to east, east to west. And now it's like it's traveling from the south where the carnival was pushing you north back towards your treehouse. But in the wind and from a distance, you hear Mr. Dark yelling, calling out, "Be sure to tell your friends about us. Tell all your friends about us." And you all are taking off. Who's in the at this point? Who is in the lead? Is anyone? Are y'all going to unfortunately split up? Are y'all going to stay together? You also have your flashlights and lanterns, so you are aware of each other's positions in the dark.
I mean,
I don't have one. I don't have a flashlight.
Oh.
I'm following whatever light I see bobbing in front of me.
I'm probably toward the back. I'm smaller, so.
I would say Danny ran off and is following Alex to the best of her ability.
I'm probably in the lead, and I'm probably until 200 yards maybe, like, into the woods.
Yeah,
Then I'm
good
kind of
head
like,
start.
and then I'm gonna like kind of look around, see if I see my friends, see if anything's chasing us or whatever.
You don't see anything per se chasing you, and you do get over the hill. You go up. You're away from the carnival. You're past. You go down the other side of the berm, and away from the train tracks. And all of y'all are making it. There's nothing really horrible happening, but you do hear off in the distance that howl of a wolf crying out.
Guys,
But
do we
that's
have
all you
wolves here?
hear.
I don't think we have ever heard about eating wolves in the suburb.
Are they endemic to this region?
What word did you
While
just say?
running, while running.
All right.
There's wolves. Wolves.
I haven't run into
Dog
any
or
wolves in, like,
coyote or.
I will say that at some point as you're running, there is you see something in the distance in one of the trees. And I'm gonna say that one of you left a light on in your treehouse.
One of us did.
I'm gonna say one of you did. I'm gonna give.
Okay.
I didn't ask that as a GM earlier, but I'm gonna say one of you
Oh,
left the
okay.
light behind.
Okay.
I never got to say what I had with me, so I did that.
So you all see where the treehouse is. I'm guessing you're all booking it for that and going up the ladder and getting up there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and pulling the ladder up at. Did we say it's a rope ladder, right? Yeah, we're
We
gonna
can,
pull that.
yeah, we can
Yeah.
say it's a rope ladder.
Yeah, we're pulling it up after us.
Okay. What exactly is going through your minds at this point? You're all up in this treehouse. It's the wind has died down. The tree is no longer rocking. You no longer hear the wolf howl either.
Going to slam the trapdoor shut, and then I'm sitting on top of the trapdoor. Like, no, nothing's getting in. So yeah, sitting on the door. What, I, guys? Parents aren't here. What the hell was that?
I'm gonna check, like pat myself. Like, do I have the tickets or the picture
The flyer.
anywhere?
Yes, you do. Uh,
I'm just gonna gotta throw those out there and like, that really freaking happened.
I'm not going there tomorrow.
Uh-uh.
I don't care if it's in the daytime. I'm not going back.
No, let's hit Crenshaw's twice and be done.
Did besides myself and Brian, did either of you see anything weird? Like besides before the slide?
No?
In the slide, I saw a person, but they were covered in something.
Is it just a picture or something?
I think it
Maybe?
was an optical illusion.
I mean, there were a lot of those. It,
We
it
were
was
so
a fun
convinced.
house.
Yeah, but it seemed like we were on that slide for a long time. I didn't think the slide was ever going to end.
Guys, is this what fun houses are usually like? Because I'm not a fan.
It's my first. I don't
Well,
know.
no, they're more frustrating than scary. Like my little sister got stuck in that mirror maze for like 20 minutes and out, but wasn't scary.
Can I say that Danny reaches to pick up the flyer, the brochure, and she just kind of wants to like read in detail what it says.
all right.
Can she do that?
The flyer is in an old style, much like that older parchment paper, tea stained. But it is. It looks like it has been printed, and not so much drawn, but perhaps the silk screen printing. If y'all understand the difference, I mean, it doesn't
Mhm.
have that pixelated line by line look like it came off a printer. It looks like it was. It's a very smooth finished product.
Okay.
Uh, on it, it reads much like the train car read. It says Dark's Pandemonium Carnival. Ride the carousel of dreams, spin the wheel of fortune. It gives like locations and pictures. It has a picture of a strong man and a very classic, like you've seen wrestlers on TV. Yeah, with their with their cute little shorts or whatnot. And sometimes that one strap that goes over their shoulder. Some of them have that costume.
Mhm.
This it has a costume like that, and it's picking up a barbell in one arm. Uh, it says that there are games of chance, and you remember seeing some of that while you were walking to that funhouse. Uh, it talks about our funhouse hall of mirrors. It does mention that. It says that there are dancing girls and a fortune teller as well.
There's nothing on here that would seem to imply bad.
I mean, he said that it's supposed to scare us. It's a
Well, it did it very
haunted.
well.
haunted carnival,
It's a haunted carnival. But
It's
like a haunted house.
but what I saw in the mirror wasn't. There was no way. That was me when I was like 4. Why would? How could it show me that?
and it showed it. The mirror showed what I think. When I picture myself as an adult, I picture myself like confident and standing tall, and like nothing can. And it showed me exactly what I imagine my when I grow up as. That how would they know that?
Maybe just took a guess. I mean, we all want to be taller when we're older.
No, it was more than just taller. I mean, I just had this aura of
You were a
strength and
grown up.
confidence. Yeah.
You were a grown up. You weren't a kid. You were a grown up. And I was a baby. Well, young. Well, I wasn't a baby. I was very.
I think there's something weird with that carnival.
I agree with that.
So here's the question I raised to all of you as players and guiding your characters in this tale. What are they doing for the rest of the night?
Not sleeping. At least I'm not.
No,
Uh,
it's past the sugar, right?
yeah. Yeah.
We
Daniela
still have to
unpacks.
plan. We still have to plan out our trick or treat route. We know where we want to start, but we didn't figure out where the rest of the way.
I don't know that I want to go back out.
That's
D-
tomorrow night, and yeah, we'll just
we
stay
can.
far away from the carnival.
It's Saturday. Tomorrow's Saturday.
Look,
I,
we'll
I,
we'll get we'll get started trick or treating early. We won't stay out till it's dark, or at least not too dark.
do you think they could have followed us back here?
They're not going to be able to get up here if they did.
But
Peek
they're
out the
grown
window.
ups. Grown ups
Do I,
can get ladders.
do I see anybody outside? I peek out the window. And like
You
literally, I'm
look,
like,
I'm gonna say you look outside and in the light of the stars, what little ambient there light there is, uh, unless you shine your flashlight down, and even if you do that, you see no reason. And ever since you came up the ladder, ever since you pulled it up, closed the trap door, all you hear are the standard sounds of nature. You do not hear the sounds of anything moving through leaves. And that is one thing that you definitely, even when you were running back, catches in your mind is that there were, it's fall. Leaves are all over the place. They are dry and crunchy. There's not been rain recently. You have not heard anything on the ground near you. So you don't believe that they came or even followed you back.
You know what? Maybe it was all just really fancy tricks. He pulled a coat out of a hat. Fancy tricks.
He pulled that hat out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's a magician. It's magicians. They
Like when
always show weird things.
yeah, like when David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, it's magic. That's why. Duh. You should have thought, guys. Duh. Just
They
magic.
can cut people in half and they're fine. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I once on TV saw a magician make an entire audience disappear. That seems a lot harder than showing an image of a person in a bag.
My sister made an entire audience disappear at her recital. But I think it was just because she was bad.
yeah.
You really should tell your sister that singing's not for her.
Yeah, well, my parents think she sings like a canary, more like a vulture.
So,
Your sister's not good at singing.
with what we've discussed now
Hmm.
and how you're feeling, do you think you'd actually go to sleep?
Yeah, unfortunately, child's logic.
Yeah, Dani has fully convinced herself. It's just like, oh my god, this is TV magic. Duh. It was a card trick. It was a fancy card trick. That's all it was. Fully convinced herself.
it was no worse than it's the scary stories we tell each other.
Yeah.
At least for Alex, I don't know that it would be like, okay, we're all gonna go to bed now. It'd be more of like, okay, we all just eventually pass out thing. But yeah, we'd go to sleep, I think.
Dani's last thought before she falls asleep. curled up in her entirely too large sleeping bag is, I've read scarier Goosebumps books.
I thought you made goosebumps.
They don't know. Shh.
Get him at the library.
The school library.
All right. Well, let me check the audio on this really quick. All right. Morning comes for you all in the treehouse. Uh, sun comes up. Seems like a pretty average, normal day. Uh, you throw the ladder down, I guess. Open the trap door, and go
Daylight,
on your
nothing matters.
way.
Daylight.
Yeah, it's daytime. Nothing's gonna happen.
So you go on your way, moving through the forest and back to a very common route for all of you, going into town and back into your suburb. Uh, everything feels normal. And I will say everything feels normal, and then there is one gust of wind. Uh, you look down, and I'm gonna say we'll go with Akila for your character. On the back of your leg, the wind has blown up a flyer.
Reach down and grab it.
And it's a very simple black and white flyer for Dark's Pandemonium Carnival.
Yeah, I guess they are definitely here.
Um,
They must have handed these out last night.
Do we see any posted around any of the buildings that we're watching? Light post?
As you arrive in town, you do see some that have been stapled to, I'm going to say, classic wooden, what are they called? My brain just,
telephone poles?
Telephone
telephone
poles.
poles. Thank you so much. My brain just went out the window. You see some that are stapled to the telephone poles that are fairly fresh.
I'm gonna look at Audrey and be like, "Well, I guess they were super busy while we were in the fun."
Yeah.
So,
Do we have our poster with us or a flyer or whatever?
And our tickets. Does the flyer
yes,
have an hours of operation?
it does not. But it does give the location. It basically says that for one night and one night only, Dark's Pandemonium Circus, follow the railroad tracks, find an adventure, and then it gives the usual spiel.
That's
10
not
left on E75, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, I think, did we just make it a lot scarier than it actually was?
It was at night.
It is Halloween. Well, Halloween Eve.
Yeah, we must have built it up in our minds. Like that stuff couldn't happen like we thought it did.
Jeez,
Okay.
Mr. Kruger was pretty scary.
Well, yeah.
yeah. But really, he didn't do anything scary. Well, you know what? He did say
Just
that we're not strangers, and that was pretty scary. I'm pretty sure
yeah.
that was
And then he
scary.
just shut the door.
I think that,
That's probably just what they do to like space out the groups or whatever, right? Like
oh, that's right, because you can't have that many people go in at once.
Yeah, usually you just have someone. Well, who was going to come in after us? We were the only ones there.
well, just his habit, I think.
Maybe. Yeah, you guys are probably right. I think we just
And
started freaking ourselves out.
the star room wouldn't have been so cool if it hadn't been dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, it wasn't that scary. I think we were being real crybabies. I don't think it was scary, hardly at all.
It's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. The slide was fun, minus the canvas thing, but it was fun. Right? Was it
Going and
fun?
going and going, like the longest slide ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, slides are great. The only thing that would have been better if it was a swing.
Yeah. Oh, do you think they have that ride where the swings like go way out and they spin you around and around?
Yeah, I've seen those on TV.
Yeah, I saw on the news that that going like that and swinging it in one of the chains flying like 80 feet landed in the bushes. No.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
I think that'd be fine. You're in the bushes. It's a soft landing.
Uh,
Guys, I think we need to talk about Halloween. It's my first Halloween, and I would like all the candy.
Well,
We
if
need
you're gonna,
really good costumes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your
Hey,
parents are
what?
letting you go. I mean, you're gonna have to get dressed up in secret.
Oh no, they're letting me go. Um, I I promised to do all of the chores for the next 2 months,
Ouch.
and also I have to help my mom cook Thanksgiving dinner. But it's gonna
Ooh.
be worth it for the candy. It's gonna be great.
Do
What
they
are you
know
guys
you're
gonna
getting
be?
candy?
Yes, I'm usually not allowed. This is a big deal for me.
Are they gonna let you keep the candy?
They didn't say.
Did you get that in writing?
We'll help you figure out where to stash it.
Can we keep it in like the treehouse, or can one of you guys keep it at your place? Give me candy at school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
so all these plans going on, and what is the plan for you? Is it still going to be getting together that night? Do you think you're going to go back home and rest before this evening, or uh, big question? If
At
y'all
least
are making yourself feel better about the carnival, are you thinking of going back?
We
maybe
have
after
free
we're done trick
tickets.
or treating,
We do have tickets.
Well, how
we
that'd
could
be
go trick or
really past
treating
curfew. Trick or treating and then to the carnival.
and then stash all our candy in the treehouse,
Hmm.
and maybe ask our parents if we can spend another night in the treehouse. I know mine will be fine with it.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
I'm gonna have to beg. But would we really need to spend the whole night? I mean, we could just go there, go to the carnival, and once we're done, get our stuff and go home.
Well, that way we don't have to worry about a curfew. And if they don't know where, then we're not breaking any curfew.
You know what? I'm almost a grown up. I'm sure it'll be fine.
And look at it this way: if you're spending the night in the treehouse, you might not have any candy to take home the next day because we eat all we want while we're up there.
Oh no, my mother says that you have to take your time with things. Not everything's meant to be eaten in a day.
That's one of the fun things about Halloween is eating enough candy to see how much you can eat before you can't eat anymore.
I mean,
Yeah, be careful
sometimes
not
you're
to get
sick the next day,
sick.
but it's worth it. It is so worth it.
I'm learning so much.
And I bet the carnival's a lot less scary when there's other people there.
Yeah, and they're gonna have
Really?
all the lights, and and we could get candy.
Yeah, the
Wait,
food will be
no,
there.
food.
No, yeah, the food will be
Mhm.
there.
I
We
think
could
we
get
should go.
funnel
And we didn't
cakes.
have to spend our allowance on the tickets.
And we don't have to go to the funhouse. We can go do the other things.
Yeah, I'm not going
Yeah,
back to the funhouse.
no.
We
I
already
mean,
did that.
We already did
yeah,
that.
we
Yeah,
did it. It wasn't scary, but we already did it, and there's other things to be
Yeah,
do.
'cause we're big kids.
Yeah, we're
and if
adults. We're almost grown ups.
we
Yeah.
can go in our costumes, that'll be even funner.
Yeah. Where are you guys gonna be? I forgot to ask.
I'm just gonna be a naturalist, though, so I'll be like camouflage, so I can like watch things out in nature.
Is that what you dress up as all the time, Alec?
I tried to make a Captain Planet costume. I wanted to be Captain Planet, but it just didn't work. So
Why
I'm
didn't
gonna
you?
do this.
Why didn't you tell me? I've got a Planeteer costume.
Which Planeteer are you gonna be?
Linka.
Yes, best one.
Because
I'm
I
gonna be.
was I was ashamed that I couldn't do it right. That's why I didn't say.
You still have some time.
Maybe you guys can help.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my costume's done. I finished it last week. I'm going to be a jellyfish.
Ooh,
Cool.
Nice.
nice.
Did you guys see the new movie that just came out, The Crow?
My
No,
parents haven't let
No,
me see that.
Oh, it's
I
so
don't have enough
good.
money to go.
why isn't that rated R?
Yeah, you just buy a ticket for another movie that's G-rated and just go see that movie.
Wait, you go to the movies by yourself?
Yeah, my parents don't care. And sometimes they make me take my little sisters, but
And you
that's
take your
it.
little sisters to rated R movies?
Oh no, they would have sold me out in a heartbeat.
Oh man.
I dropped them off at
Oh,
cartoon, and then I went and said, "Wait for me here," and then I went and watched The Crow.
I had a
You-
friend
So
whose older
cool.
brother worked sorry, I did throw it in there, but I had a
mhm.
friend whose older brother worked at a movie theater, and he would sneak us in. I saw Species way too young.
Yeah, I'd like to say that I'm making this all up, but I did this exact thing when I was like 13. We would buy tickets to go see some PG movie, whatever R-rated movie we wanted. The 90s.
Memories. Memories.
So yeah, so I'm dressed up as Brandon Lee's character, and I'm gonna white face paint and the black eyes, and my mom got me some black lipstick to put on, just like he did, and I'm just hoping people don't think I'm just some scary mime.
You're I think you're gonna scare the people at the carnival.
That would be fine with
Yeah,
me.
it's gonna be awesome.
That does sound pretty cool.
So, day goes relatively easily. I'm gonna say that, why don't you all, take a chance to help make a costume? And, we're gonna say that the costume for Alex is it's a kid's costume. I'm gonna set difficulty at a 5, and, it's either grit that you this I mean, it's kinda like painting minis. If you keep on doing it, and eventually it's gonna look good. You just keep on trying and you keep on trying. Eventually, it's gonna look good. You could go for grit, or I would let a brains check. Maybe you actually have a bit of experience with a little bit, being a seamstress of some sort.
Made my
So
costume.
let's go around the circle, and like I said, I'm saying the difficulty at a 5. So I'm actually going to start off because I think you have the most invested in this. Panini. All right, sorry, not Panini. Kyla, you're the one that's playing the Planeteer. My apologies. My apologies. Yeah, I know. Yep. So, Kyla, if you would like to make that roll, and how are you doing it? Are you going for the this trying over and over and over, or you think you go for that seamstress kind of test on that?
It's definitely the braids check because I've already put mine together, so I already have some of the designs already figured out.
Cool.
How's an 11?
Okay. So it's looking really good so far. Panini, if you want to go ahead and have your character roll as well, I'm gonna let everybody take a chance.
Mhm. Here's the thing that Danny's mom made her costume, and she likes to think that that Danny is really focused on getting it right, but honestly, she's just gonna keep going at it and hopefully it doesn't look bad. But she likes to think it's a brains roll, but it's not. And so my grit is a D10. Oh, this is not the right die. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I was just like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Exactly a 5.
Exactly a 5. All right. And let's go ahead and have Sean make his roll.
So this is to help Alex with his costume or
Yeah.
my okay.
Based on what y'all are giving me, I'm gonna go ahead and come up with some ideas.
You
So
can do the face makeup.
yeah, you know what? I've been practicing with my makeup for the crow, so I think I can apply the blue face paint and dye his hair to the appropriate green color. So I'm gonna go with brains. Oh, that's a 6.
Preteens dyeing hair. That's gonna go well.
It always does. Has never in the history of man has that gone poorly.
No.
And so what was that total?
6.
6. Okay. And finally, uh, so Phil, how are you gonna go about it?
Brains, because I've already kind of given up on it once, so I don't think kind of gritting it through is what's gonna work or something. Well, what's the smartest thing I can do? And I got exactly a 6.
You
Nice.
raided your closet.
Yeah.
Not only did you raid your closet, but I'm gonna say that you also raided an older sibling's closet. And let's toss this in there for fun. Your older sibling, just I'm gonna ask, boy or girl?
Girl.
Girl. All right. God, I hate to do this, but let's have some fun. I'm gonna say that one year for Halloween, she decided to be a sexy Doc Brown from Back to the Future, and you steal the hair, Doc Brown's hair, and spray paint it with some chrome spray paint and comb it through in order to make the Captain Planet wig. All
Yes.
right. And
I
between
agree.
all of you coming together with little pieces like that, he has an actually really good Captain Planet look.
I am
So,
right.
yeah, yeah. So you all have your costumes on, and we have, of course, our Captain Planet and our planets here. We have Eric Draven, and we have also a jellyfish. I am curious with the jellyfish. How would you have described the jellyfish? What does it look like?
Okay, so this is based off a friend's daughter was a jellyfish one year, and I just love the idea so much. So what she did is she wore like this really heavy like pink tulle dress, and over it she wore a clear raincoat. And then she had a clear umbrella that had LEDs or
Oh,
lights
cool.
attached to it. And they went all the way down the sides, like the legs of the jellyfish. So she just was holding an umbrella with like these LED lights coming down, and dressed in pink and stuff, and that was her look.
That is so awesome and creative. Did she come up with that, or was it kind of like her and her mom, or?
I think it was her and her mom who put it
Oh my
together.
gosh,
So yeah,
Cool.
so that's how
I
the
love it.
yeah, it was.
The
I think the dress might have been white, but I'm going with pink. But it's just a nice, like, think of like honestly a communion dress, with a clear, because everything in the 90s was see-through
it's
raincoat
probably
plus
more Christmas tinsel than
I
LED
yeah.
lights.
Yeah, they know. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's no LED lights. Yeah, so it's gonna be one of those like battery pack LEDs.
Nice, nice. Is this yeah, the '90s was filled with weird see-through. I remember because
N64s.
Jelly
yeah,
shoes.
I
Jelly
gra
shoes.
I graduated in '95, and I remember in high school, there were the shirts that were the material was essentially see-through.
Mm-hmm.
And, but they were it had a feel like at that time, a bunch of, like, silk rayon, mixed fabrics was a big thing. But I remember they had to ban, like, the midriff showing shirts. I mean, it was a whole shirt, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I had a couple of those. I had because, I was a guy and I was cool, wasn't I? Maybe, I
I
don't
didn't
know.
have any of it.
Dude,
And you know
I
what?
used to go to school wearing a hot pink T-shirt with a khaki blazer.
But
I went full on Tubbs or Crockett. I don't know which one
Yeah.
it was.
And she does, by the way, Donnie is wearing jelly shoes. Thank you for reminding me.
uh, gotta love the '90s. Alright,
Hmm.
so
Oh, uncomfortable.
your characters are out and, doing your trick or treating. Now the wind has begun to pick up yet again, and I will say that on top of that, there is the sound in the distance of a storm cloud and rain, which kind of dampens the plans. You could definitely say.
Dude.
Uh,
Hey guys, I'm okay. I can still keep going.
Oh, your umbrella.
Did,
yep.
did we hit the Crenshaws twice yet?
Yeah, that's an important question.
What's up?
Did we hit the Crenshaws twice yet?
Uh, let's go ahead and go flight on that. Are you going to be the leader? Do you want to roll on that? I'm gonna say it's a 4. That you actually managed. You got there once, definitely. Did you make it twice?
Each one of us, or
I was just gonna say if you want to nominate someone that was keeping up with the timetables and whatnot, anyone in your group, one person, if y'all would like.
My
I
plate's a
was
D12 plus
probably
1.
not
Ooh.
timetabling though.
Do you want to? It
I,
sounds like somebody in your group is really
I,
good at this part.
I'll
Yes,
Do
do
you
it.
want?
yeah. I'm DC
Yeah,
10 and +1, so yeah, definitely go for it.
and he has a lot of schedules, lessons.
You said DC was 4?
yes.
Well, good thing I rolled a 4 plus my 1, 5.
Nice.
We going back,
Nice.
baby. We're gonna get those full size Snickers.
You get back, and yes, you snag those full size Snickers. They're not really paying attention. They're all. You actually are getting 2 per trip because they realize the rain's coming, and yeah, this is a good year. The rain's coming. They're not going to have kids all night. They got to get all this stuff out of here. You show up, and so by the end of the night, you've gotten 4 from them.
Hell
Ooh,
yeah.
can I try and charm a few more since it's raining?
Go for it. Let's get that charm in.
I'm like, that's great. I don't think any more kids are coming because this storm is coming in. Do you think maybe we could each get another one? And then I'll roll for it. DC on this one?
Uh, they're adults. They kind
Yep.
of get an idea of what's going on here, but at the same time, the difficulty is not going to be impossible because at the same time, rainstorm coming in.
Yep.
Maybe you're a cute kid.
I am pouring on the charm. I'm smiling big, which is kind of creepy with the crow makeup on,
Oh, I
but
forgot about that.
Get off my porch, kid.
yeah.
Jellyfish.
Let's go with this.
That's dual costume.
I'm gonna say 6. I'm gonna say 6.
I'm gonna spend a point of grit. I really want the candy bars.
Adversity token?
Yep. I'm sorry. Wrong game. Not spending a point of grit. I am spending adversity token.
Yeah, adversity. All right, and you bump your score up then, and they're like, here, and she actually hands you 3.
Woohoo!
And everybody gets 1. You get 3, in addition to what you got. So it's time though. The rain is going to be coming soon. You can hear the thunder and lightning getting even closer. What are you going to do?
Are we still
Do I
going to
know a
risk going?
shortcut maybe to the treehouse
Man, I
through
hope
the
that
woods or
tarp.
something?
I hope that tarp we put up there is going to keep it dry.
It has before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go to the treehouse.
Yeah.
We got candy. We got big candy bars. This is a golden night. We need to celebrate this.
Yeah, I've been snacking as we go, but the candy bars are definitely for the treehouse.
And I know you're not used to this, but this is momentous.
Donnie
Okay.
opens
Like
up
the
a
best
she
beer
opens up a
ever.
mini almond joy, and she's like, "This is incredible. This is the best candy."
Since Danny's never trick or treat before, I'm gonna reach into my bag and kind of sort through it, and I'm gonna find an orange wrapped taffy, which we all know that's the worst Halloween candy. This is the best.
Oh, above table, I actually did like those.
I
Back
did
to
too,
table.
but everybody thinks they're the worst. I actually love them.
I also like black licorice, so Danny
that
takes it, and she's like, "Oh, ow, my tooth, ow."
Yeah, they're great, aren't they?
People like,
No one likes them.
why would you do that?
It's just, I thought it was funny. You're new to this. It's fun. It's kind of initiation.
Can she boop him on the head?
I'm fine with that.
Just you
Yeah.
suck.
Ow.
You suck. Also, do you have more of those? I kind of like them now.
Remember, he did get his extra candy bar, so
Do you like those?
no.
Okay.
But I like
I
extra candy
like
bars.
I like
Okay.
bean candy. My wife thinks I'm crazy. Like
Boston
I'm not
bean
talking jelly beans. I'm not talking like jelly beans. I'm
The
talking
Boston
like
baked
the
beans.
Boston
uh,
baked beans candy.
Boston baked beans. But at the same time, I also like actual candy that it's like sweetened bean paste.
Yeah, there's actually
I
uh,
love
The
it.
red bean paste, that stuff's good.
Yes.
no, in my family's from the Dominican Republic, and we actually have a whole dessert that's habichuela con dulce, and that translates to like sweet bean, and it's a entire dessert made of bean, and it's really really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my late wife was Filipino, and she introduced me to this pastry that's made out of sweetened purple sweet potatoes. That's wrapped in
Ube.
pastry. It is, yeah, ube.
Ooh.
It is delicious. I love it.
So you're in the treehouse, and we're actually going to be wrapping up here in a moment. It is 3 o'clock, and we're all adults, and we'd like to have our evenings free. But before we get there is a sound that as you're in the treehouse, it's like footsteps in the leaves start up nearby, and you can hear somebody's walking below.
Oh no.
Did you pull up the ladder?
Yeah? I didn't. The trap door's open though. We hadn't closed the trap door yet.
Johnny looks out the window.
I'm thinking that we were throwing candy wrappers at the door because we're irresponsible 90s kids.
Pollution and climate control and littering aren't a thing yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I am Captain.
To be fair, yeah. Whoops.
From down below,
Uh,
you hear the sound of a voice, and it says, "Good evening, children." It's the voice of Mr. Black.
Bill looked through the trap door down at
Or
him.
sorry, Mr. Dark.
Yes?
Told you we were being followed.
That was last night. You said we were being followed.
Yeah, and it looked like you found out where we are.
You know, it's unfortunate. The carnival's having to close down for the evening.
Oh no.
I was out for a walk, and I could hear you all talking.
You
Wanted to see if any of you would like to come and see the carnival off.
No.
No thanks.
You've shut it down.
Will there be free candy?
No.
Guys, once again, it wasn't a big deal. It's a haunted house. It wasn't that scary. You guys
It's
are being
raining.
crybaby. Aren't the rides indoors?
You have to get there.
Umbrella.
I appreciate the sentiment. I would love to have you come to the carnival. I'll tell you what, since your friends are. Sounds like they're not as interested.
They're crybabies are what they are. They're scaredy cats.
I will say this: that ticket is good for another year.
A whole year, every day?
In 1 year, we'll be back this way. We like to call ourselves the Autumn People. We come in October. You can find us here again. Bring the ticket, be it free admission. Bring their tickets. For every ticket that you bring, or for them if they come, I will give you one free piece of confectionery. Candy, if you will, but other things can be sweet. Just unfortunate that so many things melt in the rain. And remember, kids, the night is always magic, but not every ride is fun.
I'm gonna.
And you
I'm gonna
cease to hear anything from
I was
below.
gonna say as soon as he said it's not fun. I'm gonna drop down the full size Butterfingers.
But they're delicious.
Butterfingers are the best.
I know. I'm hoping he won't come back and kill us.
Now he knows we have Butterfingers, you idiot. Now he's definitely gonna come back.
Whatever he is, you hear his footsteps now departing. But as he departs, it's as if coming from his person. You hear that music. And in the distance, you also hear the sound of a train whistle. Remember, children, 1 year. I hope you'll come to the carnival. Because if you don't, I'm going to come and find you.
Or I beg your pardon? Uh,
And I think this is not the worst note to end on for the day.
That's actually an awesome note to end on.
Yeah.
So, it is 3 o'clock in Central Area. It's 4 o'clock for me out here, and I want to thank all my players for showing up and joining me on this occasion. Uh, Obviously, for those of you watching, I've thrown this together in the last 8 hours. So 4 hours before game started, I found out that our GM was not going to be able to be here. He got ill in the middle of the night, and so we hope Matt is feeling better. But so toss this together, and I want to definitely give the shout out to the source material that I pulled this from, and that is Ray Bradbury's "Something Wicked This Way Comes." The figures of Mr. Dark, the Dark's Pandemonium Carnival, and also Mr. Cougar all come from those stories. And if you're not up for reading the book, there is a fairly good movie out there of it that is available, I think, right now on Disney's streaming service. So if you have that and are watching like The Mandalorian and everything else, it's a property owned by Disney, and I highly recommend for Halloween, go give it a watch.
I might watch that tonight.
So if you want to see what happens to Mr. Dark and Mr. Cougar, good way to find out. But that said, we're going to be calling it to a close for the evening. I hope you've all enjoyed this jump into Kids on Bike, which is more of a narrative style gameplay. There really are no hit points in this game. It's all about telling a story and moving things forward. So give it a try. Go to Renegade Games. I think it's their side company. They're two sides of one company, Renegade Games, and on the other side is Hunters Entertainment. Entertainment has put these books out there, and there are several versions that are available. They have a Ashcan book and the free RPG Day game available on their website, so you can go grab it and play it yourself. Learn the rules. All right, everyone. Stay safe. Have a good evening. Talk
Happy
to you later.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy trick or treating.
And